Good morning, students. Today we will start with a new chapter for your third term, that is peace of mind. Now, the topic is easy. You can understand from the topic itself. We're talking about how we can keep our mind peaceful. Okay, see, let's begin with the chapter. Peace of mind matters a lot to me. I do something that I like doing as long as I'm being true to myself. Now, it is said by Virat Kohli, right? That means peace of mind is actually very important or very necessary for each one of us. Learning objectives, they've given it here. Peace of mind is more precious than any material wealth that we can have. Yes, of course, when we talk about peace of mind, it is very, very important for all of us, right? It is important for all of us, and it is one of the most important or one of the most precious wealth that we can ever own. A person who has everything he desires but not peace of mind is always unhappy. So if you do not have peace of mind, then you'll never be happy. So in order to have peace of mind, you need, in order to have happiness, you need to have your peace of mind. Now see, a person feels happy and satisfied even within limits, within limited means if he has peace of mind. Maybe if you have less of something, but if you have peace of mind, then you feel happy. No achievement is worth fighting for if it does not bring peace of mind. See, maybe you're fighting for something, you really need something, but if there's no peace of mind, even when you're fighting for that particular thing, that means what? That you have not achieved happiness, right? Remember that, please. A peaceful mind is the storehouse of ideas and creativity. So, unless and until your mind is peace, you won't have good ideas, you won't have the problem solving skills, you'll have trouble. Okay, let's continue. We have a story here. Once Gautam Buddha was traveling with some of his followers. While they were passing by a pond, Buddha told one of his disciples, I am thirsty. Please get me some water to drink from the pond. Now, I'm sure you already know about Gautam Buddha. So once he was actually walking with his disciples, and when he saw a pond, he told one of his disciples that he's thirsty and he needs some water. He actually needs some water. The disciple walked up to the pond. Even as he was going to fill an earthen pot with the pond water, a bullock cart started crossing through the pond, which was not very deep. The cart moved through the pond, stirred up the mud, and made the water dirty. Now, when he was about to take the water from the pond, a bullock cart crossed the pond. It was not that deep, so it was easy for it to cross, and suddenly this water became muddy. Right? I cannot make my Lord drink this dirty water, thought the disciple. So he returned to Buddha without water and informed him that the pond was muddy. I don't think it is fit to drink at present, he told Buddha. So what he told his master, that right now it is not fit for you to drink that water. It is all muddy. They were all very tired and thirsty, and they realized going further would not be possible for a while. So they sat down on the green grass to relax for some time. Their halt gave some relief to their tired bodies, but their thirst was only increasing as time passed. After about an hour, Buddha again asked the same disciple to go back to the pond and see if there was some clean water to drink. The disciple went back and found that the water was still muddy. He returned and informed Buddha, the water is still muddy and unfit to drink. And they thought of waiting for some more time. After another hour, Buddha again asked the disciple to go back and check. This time the disciple found that the mud had settled down and the water was clear. So he collected some water in his pot and brought it to Buddha. Now Buddha looked at the water. It looked clean and healthy. He then looked up at the disciple and asked, what did you do to make the water clean? Nothing much really. You only let it be. The mud settled down on its own and now you have clear water. It is just like our minds, said Buddha. When our minds are disturbed, the thoughts get spoiled. They actually get polluted, just like the water that becomes dirty when stirred up. Stirred up means mixed, when there's a movement, the water becomes dirty. So when your mind is disturbed, don't do much. Just let your mind be. Give it a little time. It will settle down on its own. You don't have to put in any effort to calm it down. It is effortless. So now you have to understand, Buddha, he actually gave this story. He wanted to tell his disciples that, see, when your mind is disturbed, your thoughts are polluted. That means in the same way, you have to calm yourself. You have to make sure that there's peace. Then you have the right to take the right decision. Then you should think of any new ideas or anything that is important. When your mind is disturbed, it is polluted, you'll never get any peace of mind. In the same way, when this water was, stirred, when it was moved by the Bulla cart, suddenly the water was polluted, it was mixed with mud. But after some time, when, everything was cool and calm, the clean water came up and the mud settled down. That is when this disciple was able to get the clean water. Let's see slice of life. When the bottom of a pond is stirred up, mud at the bottom gets mixed and the water becomes dirty. Similarly, when our minds are disturbed, our thoughts also become polluted. When water becomes dirty, the best way is to just let it settle. The dirt settles at the bottom and after a while you get clean water. In the same way, when your mind is disturbed, you should just let it be. It will settle down. Patience and restraint are the two most important aspects of self-improvement. Is that clear? So always remember, this is very important. See, and I have some questions here. With whom was Gautam Buddha traveling? He was traveling with his disciples. Why did they halt? Why they took a stop? Because they were tired and thirsty. What did Buddha send one of his disciples for? So that one of his disciples would go and get some water. Was the one sent by Buddha successful in finishing the work? If yes, how? If no, why? No, he was not able to get the water first. Why? Because it was mixed with mud. Second time, third time when he went, second time again it was mixed with mud. Third time he was successful. Why? Because the water was still and the clean water could be collected. When was he finally able to finish the work and how we know it? What according to Buddha is similarity between our brain and water? Now there's a similarity. When your mind and the water is polluted, you cannot use it. So you have to wait till everything is at peace. Then only you can use it. Right? That is it for today. The next chapter we'll do in the next video. Thank you.